Hey, welcome into another Whoosh Wednesday, again delayed. Life is just getting crazy. So, we're going to drop it on probably a weekend again. But that's okay. Today, I kind of wanted to take a chance to review the Venom The Last Dance trailer. Not review it so much as, I guess, talk about it. What I kind of took away as a potential storyline to run through the trailer and um, what it might tie into. So I guess this is a look at potential storylines for Venom: The Last Dance. Before I jump into that, remember if you're enjoying the content, any of the content, to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps YouTube push the video out to more people. I know it's really stupid, but it helps to get the channel more exposure, so more people can find it, which allows me to do more things. Um, on top of that, if you're looking for more review on Venom: The Last Dance trailer and some thoughts on it, make sure to check out the podcast I do with my buddies Zach and Van. It's called The Comic Council. You can find it over on Spotify. So definitely check that out and give us a listen over there as well. It's great. So enough of that kind of stuff. Let's jump into Venom: The Last Dance. So we see this trailer. Again, it's Sony dropping another Spider-Man universe thing. Questionable at best. But here we are, right? Hard to say, honestly. Honestly, very, very hard to say, like, what we should and shouldn't expect from this. I don't know. To be completely honest. I don't trust Sony with a lot of properties. As a matter of fact, in this trailer, unless it's a bait and switch for us, they already threw in something different. At the end of the last Venom movie, Let There Be Carnage, you see Venom transported to the Tom Holland Spider-Man slash MCU universe. And then at the end of No Way Home, you see Eddie Brock, Venom, Tom Hardy, whatever you want to call him, sitting at a bar, having a drink with a bartender who I'm going to call Danny Rojas because I cannot for the life of me remember his name, but he's in Ted Lasso and he's fantastic. Definitely check out Ted Lasso. It's great. And then Eddie Brock gets snapped back to his universe and the symbiote stays behind. Well, in this trailer, you see somebody going to the bar to pick up the symbiote that's in a different universe than everything else. I don't know. It's weird. Hopefully there's an explanation. Maybe they're multiversal paramilitary groups. I don't know. I really don't. We know that Venom is a hive mind. So maybe it's a multiverse thing. I don't know how many times you can do the multiverse and go back to that well before it's broken. Especially when you're Sony and you have a limited sandbox of characters to play with. Who knows? But they're doing it because they're Sony. Now, in this trailer, we see the Venom symbiote tell Eddie that his planet is invading. Well, his planet, as we know from the comics, is Clintar, home of the symbiotes. And credit to the 2018 Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman Venom run. Absolutely fantastic. Do yourself a favor if you're even remotely interested in Venom and go check out that trailer. I'm not that trailer, that comic run. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorites. And it does a great, great job of kind of building the Venom we may have with Hardy as opposed to the Venom people might have expected prior to it. The question is, what is this trailer hinting at that I think from the comics? And that is Knull, the King in Black, who first cameoed in, I believe it is Thor #5 from Jason Aaron. It's an unnamed symbiote god referenced in there. Well, Knull is the god of symbiotes, also referred to as the King in Black. And there's this whole comic book run as part of the 2018 run, building up to it, where Carnage comes back. Carnage releases Knull because Clintar isn't actually a planet. Clintar is a prison formed to house Knull. And all the symbiotes are essentially Knull trying to branch out, break free, find a way out, and that's what the symbiotes do. They go out into the universe, try to find hosts, try to bring people back to help fix them. And that's a retcon from that run. There's something else in like the Guardians run where all the Guardians get symbiotes for a minute, and it's a different kind of story behind it. But the basic premise of King in Black is that Knull is in prison. Carnage finds a way to break him out with the Cult of Carnage, and Knull eventually starts to make his way back to Earth to try to take over Earth. And Eddie has a son who's connected to Knull. That's also basically the antithesis of Knull, sort of back and forth. So for me, what I'm questioning from this is, are Sony going to adapt King in Black? Is this their plan? Are they going to do it justice if they do? And to be completely honest, I have little faith. Recently watching Madam Web did not help instill any more faith in me, to be honest. But that's okay. The point of this is that King in Black is a great run, and it's a global event. So if we're going to bring in the King in Black into this story, which I don't know what they're going for with the invasion-wise, but my first thought was King in Black, mostly because the most recent storyline, they tend to kind of grab those and bring them into movies ASAP. It's going to be really hard to adapt that in one single movie with basically one single superhero. We don't have anyone else in the Eddie Brock Venomverse. We don't have a Spider-Man. We damn sure don't have any Avengers. We haven't seen Guardians. We haven't seen anybody else. So what do we do? How does Sony adapt such a grand scale idea with one person? And I think that's the part I'm most worried about. And I don't know. I hope it's just this wholly original story and not them trying to do King in Black. Because if they're going to do that, I would really love for them to establish like a whole Spider-Man universe that has a Spider-Man, has an Eddie, has some other Marvel characters in it to help branch that out. And not just the Spider-Man characters, unfortunately. That's not enough to make this as big of a global event as it should be. Because the symbiotes do take over some of those characters. Like, Knull does recruit some of the heroes to his side simply because the symbiotes take over their bodies. So it's a giant scale project that I don't know Venom: The Last Dance has the scope to fill. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts though in the comments. Do you think they're gonna do King in Black? Have you read Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman's Venom run from 2018? That's phenomenal. Again, if you haven't, read it and let me know in the comments if you did read it after I suggested it and what you thought. But also go check out Jason Aaron's Thor run from, I believe it's 2012. Absolutely fantastic. Cameos from Knull. Gore the God Butcher has done great in that. Unlike Thor Love and Thunder. I was super pumped for him in there. So that could also be why I'm a little weary. But I don't want to keep taking up too much time. Just let me know your thoughts. Do you think Venom: The Last Dance is going to be a good movie? Do you think it's going to adopt the King in Black storyline? Do you think it's going to do something completely different? Let me know. And we'll catch you back here next time on Whoosh. Thanks!